Today's video is about removing ink to create flowers rather than applying ink to create flowers. Hope you enjoy it. Welcome to Barb's Ink Art. Today we're going to do a floral bouquet in a vase, and we're going to be just dumping a bunch of ink on here and then lifting it off into flowered patterns. First, we're going to create a background, and I'm using Ranger Glacier for this, and I'm really going to dilute it a lot and create a nice background. This is Nara paper, 9 by 12, I think. I'm going to take a paper towel and just start working it in. Probably pick up some ink from my plastic back there, but that's okay. Don't want to create too vibrant of a background, but just a hint of something going on back there. And with Nara paper, you get a really good, lift off. It doesn't stain. Get another clean paper towel one more time around, and I think we'll be good. And I am not looking for perfection here, because there will be a lot going on with this bouquet. And I'm going to, I usually offset my bouquets, and I tend to offset them to the right, just because I think it creates more interest and it goes off the page. I try to have my subject, whatever it is, go off the page on 2 or 3 different sides. To me, it just looks more natural. Okay, that's good. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is I am just gonna start dropping in some color. I'm gonna do some citrus. I'm just gonna splash it around. Of course, the focus is gonna be on this side. I'm going to add just few drops. I want to create some texture there. I'm going to take my spatula, which, as you know, I find to be my favorite tool, and just kind of move this around. And then we're going to do a vase next. A little bit of a lump there. And don't be afraid of negative space. I never leave enough negative space, and I need to really focus on that. And then I think I'm going to drop in a little purple. This is what has become one of my favorite colors, Cool Perry. I'm not sure how it's going to turn out on this. But it is really pretty, and when you drop alcohol into it too, it actually is one of my favorite backgrounds that I like to use. Okay, so we're gonna let that do its thing. I may just even do a little pink. That's a little much. I'm gonna do pink sherbet. Now it's okay for it to just kind of move around because we're going to be lifting off, and when we lift off, some of that color will be left behind, which will make for some really pretty flowers. Okay, so now, let's see if I'm centered well here. Lift a little of that up. Okay, so now I'm going to do a vase because I want my flowers to be hanging over the vase a little bit. And I think I'm going to do purple vase maybe. No, I'm going to take this Cali Art marker. It's an alcohol ink marker. It's dual side, so there's a fine tip and a broad tip. I really like using these. And I'm going to just do start with an outline. I have to do something about that. And we're going to have petals and flowers on this. So I'm going to take my brush. Now this is it's not round right now. It's a Ranger brush, that some sort of synthetic brush, and it holds up really, really well to alcohol ink. And we're going to use this. I don't know what size it is. Didn't say, I don't see anything on here. But it's just a really nice tip, and it just fills with ink really nicely, or alcohol, and it just lifts things up really nicely. I'm just gonna blend some of this in. And add some more colors. I think I'm gonna get some stream that I'm gonna drop in here. Move that around a little bit. Give it a curve on the side and then sort of straight in the middle. And what I like to do is just drop a little ink. It gives it sort of a watery appearance. That's always fun to play around with. And while it's still wet like that, I tend to like to use my markers, almost like a brush too, and I'm just gonna run it through, and it's gonna blend. You can use a lot of different colors. It looks real pretty. We'll try this yellow. If it sort of goes outside the lines, don't worry about it. We'll be covering that up with flowers, so I don't get too concerned about that. Okay, I think that looks good. So now I am going to take one of these little, they're used, as you can see, for measuring medicine actually, and I got a whole bunch of them. And they're great because, as you can see, a lot of ink will dry up in there, and then I'll just, instead of using fresh ink out of the bottle, I'll just add some alcohol to this, reconstitute it, and use that. And so I've got a whole bunch of these. And sometimes I mix colors too. So, okay, so what we're gonna do is, in a fairly clean one, we're going to add alcohol. And then we're gonna have a paper towel laying next to us. We're gonna take our brush. First, we're gonna clean it a little bit because it still has some of that blue. Okay, add a little more alcohol to this. And then we're going to just start adding, well, removing ink to create a flower. We're going to have flowers that are going to be pointing in all different directions. And we'll be adding centers to them. And I always have a paper towel next to me. I just kind of wipe off my brush because sometimes I just want a little hint of alcohol. And then up here, I'm going to start with some hollyhock type things. We're gonna just, and with the background color, it will give your petals dimension. I'm gonna try to move this around best I can so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, we're gonna do a little one that looks like it's coming from the side, and I tend to move it back and forth too. And I will be going over petals that I've already done. Let's give it sort of a real layered look. And we'll be doing some stems, so it's really going to give it some definition. Right now you're not seeing the definition, I understand, but maybe we'll put the stems and stuff on one so you can see what's going on. Okay, so here I probably could have come down with this ink a little bit more, but that's okay. I want to pick up some of this green here. Move that around a little. Okay, so to give you an idea of where we're going with this, so it makes a little more sense, I am going to do some stems and centers. Let's do the center first. I'm going to do the center in pink. And not all of them will have centers just because they might be on the side or whatever. But do the ones where it looks like there's a natural center. You don't even have to do it if it's natural. You can just create whatever you want. It's your flower. Let's see. And the centers don't always have to be round because you've got petals kind of folding in on itself. Okay, so then I'm going to take, let's see if this is the color I want. Yeah. I'm going to do stems coming down like this. And then I'm going to also up here, I'm going to move this down a little. It's going to look like buds up here. I have this going off the paper a bit. Okay, so with that, no, it looks very strange, but what you're gonna do is you're going to dip your brush in here, wipe off a little, and then you're just gonna touch it. And it's gonna look like a little new bloom coming out. See how that background color just really helps. And do the one on the top here. Move it down just a skosh. Of course, this one's going off the page. Perfect. I'll just touch this just a little so it blends into that one. All right. Okay, so hopefully that makes a little more sense now as to where we're going with this. We can even do and I don't even need to have the stem going all the way up to the flower. It's just like in watercolor, they have what they call suggestions. So you just want to have a suggestion of a stem. Your eye will fill in the rest. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to create a stem. And just as I just did up on top of that, I'm going to do the same type of thing. I'm going to try to do something a little more like a daffodil, I think. And then we're going to come in and highlight those stems just a bit. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing with the brush and just blend these little buds. And just, if it gets muddy like that, just wipe off your tip onto a paper towel. And so here I'm going to do kind of make a sort of like a daffodil. I think I'll leave that like that. Let's do one more. Okay, I'm gonna wipe off a little here. Okay. And we can do a few more of those too. Let me see, what else do we want to do? We can do a little, it's gonna look like a little bit of a lavender. And we'll do a stem on this. I just love this lifting off rather than adding on. Do another one, I think. Layer everything on top of each other. And when I do bouquets, I like to do kind of the perimeter of it first and then just add into the center. It kind of gives it a rounder feel, although I made these kind of in the center, but we'll work around that. As your brush dries, it'll lift a little less alcohol off, of course, but it's really great for when you want to go and blend. I'm do one, I'm going in this direction. Give this a little bend. You can go back in with a marker and give it more definition if you want. We'll be putting little stems on that. Okay, so let's do, what kind of flower do we want to do up here? Well, let's do another hollyhock, or actually let's do a foxglove. So we're going to leave a little room because we're going to do some of these little buds up there. And then we're going to want to do something that kind of looks like a tube shape. That one's going to be on top, and then we're going to do just a quick swipe. this way. You can always move the paper to better suit you, but I don't want to make you sick with all the paper movement. If I look at things moving on screen, I get a little seasick. And this one's pointing down. Do another one pointing down. And I want it to go straight down this way, so let's do so go over that petal. Another one here. Okay, and then what we'll do is do a little darker, I'll do a purple. No, do a little periwinkle on this. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna clean out this because it's getting kind of orangey, murky color. Put some fresh alcohol in that, and then just want to sort of make this area a little lighter. So you're looking at the inside of the flower. This one I'm going to just do this bottom edge here. Okay, just about done. Okay, so you can also do this with, if you buy this Cali Art marker set, it comes with 0 marker, which is just alcohol, and you use it to blend. So you could, it's also a dual tip, and you can take it and you can just clean that up as much as you want, and then always wipe it off of on a clean surface. Okay, I don't want it too white, so I'm not gonna get too fussy about this. But I highly recommend these markers. They're really great, and I'll put a link on the video at the bottom. So now I'm going to take sort of periwinkle color, and I'm going to just put in, if you notice on Foxglove, I don't know if that, I like that color. I don't think I like that color. I'm going to do a purple. Foxglove have those little, like leopard spots in them. And they aren't in perfect circles. All right, and then for the stem, we want it to go in this direction, so we're going to blend these a little too. I think we'll use the marker to blend these in. Okay, so for these buds up there, we're going to do the same thing. Just blend it with a brush. And then with these, we're going to take our 00 fine tip and just sort of touch it to blend these little parts here where the stem meets the flower. Just to soften it up a little bit. Looked a little harsh. Okay, so then we can add some little rando flowers up here too. Or we could just do buds. Maybe we'll do that. I just do a little bit of a squiggle. That will all get sorted out, and then we're going to have one in the middle here. Okay, take your brush. Just play around with this size, whatever size you want. Down here too. I think it's peeking out from these other petals. know if you like these videos in real time, because I know sometimes it can get a little mired in the kind of boring parts where you're just doing stuff and there's not a whole lot going on. But sometimes people, like, I tend to like the real time and not the speeded up parts with the talking in the background. But that's just me. Let me know what you think. I'm gonna do another one here. Okay. Let's do a what I want to do. I'm going to do these stems on these first. And add a little green in here too. Make it look like it's just poking through little peaks of the greenery. Okay. So I'm going to do just a big carnation type thing from the side. And do a few of these. That looks really interesting. I'll do another one here. Okay, so I think I'm going to do another, let's do another hollyhock here, going this way. I think, it doesn't seem right yet. Let me do some of these pretty little random flowers here too. I'll make them a little smaller here. So here I'm gonna have some buds coming down this way too. And you can always make it look like these petals are multiples. So let's do, is that, no. Okay. So I'm gonna do this. I don't know if you can see this. This is just hanging out the side here. I'll try to do another little daffodil. And then we're just gonna lift off. Enough alcohol. What did I do with my brush? Okay. Oops. That's okay. Kind of look a little bit more like magnolias. The screaming you're hearing in the background are my parrots. They're about to go outside for their dinner. Put a little highlight in that one. I'll leave that one alone. Okay, I'm gonna trim this one. Okay. So there's that. Now, I'll just fill decisions. I think I'm just gonna keep going with these. That looks really pretty. And kind of create little centers. I might just do a little baby flowers in here. Maybe up here too. And a few here. Okay. I'm gonna do, I feel like it needs something here too. I'm gonna have another, let's do a bud coming off and into the vase, and then we can kind of correct that area. Oops. Okay, I probably overworked that one a little bit too much, but let me make it a little bit, a little more open. Okay, that's pretty. Maybe have one peeking through here. Okay. All right, so now I think what we need to do is create centers for those. What color do I want to do? Yeah, blue. So wherever you see a little opening that looks like it might be the center, and like I said, I don't always make my centers round because they're coming from a lot of different angles. And then we could do little centers maybe for these. And then I'm gonna keep losing that one. Okay. We'll just do a little stems for those. And I do want to lighten up. Some of these stems are a little dark. A little softness in there, I think works really well. Okay. If you want, you can always take some India ink. Hopefully you can see this. India ink, and then take one of these little micro applicators, dip it in the India ink, and then just hit it against your finger, and it can create dots and almost make it look like there's little petals and stuff falling. And I like to do that sometimes too, but I think I'm gonna leave this for now. I may come back and do that after I look at it for a bit, but I really, really like, I hope you can see this, how that vase, look at all of the interesting things that happened in there. And we used a combination of markers, alcohol, and ink. And I think that looks really pretty. So I hope you give it a try. Thanks for watching.